Hey, what's up? Coming back to you with this daily vlog. Hold on, let me get to you in a minute, man. I gotta make some bubble. This what happened, I put some bubble bath in here. And then if you just want, it to bubble up, all you gotta do is keep the jacuzzi on for, 15, 20 minutes or something like that. And then, it'll make enough suds. Put the right stuff. I'm gonna go keep it on for a minute, you guys. But hey, my topic of the day is really something that everybody needs to address. I mean, seriously, because it's a fucked up word. This word is "I told you so." I don't even like it. Now, haters, if you're a hater, you probably love that word because you get to go around telling people that they made a mistake and you feel good that they, messed up without listening to you. But to me, that's a hater's word. I told you so. Why I say it like that is because I have been left, I say in this past 8 years now, with that word, I told you so. And this is because, it's like, the people that you try to warn or you try to help with some financial advice, and they don't even, DYR it, they just dismiss it. And then when it comes to flourishing, now they want to be your friend, but you could at least did a DRY. You could have did a DYR, do your own research. All right, that's one reason that I don't like it, because it puts me in a precarious predicament. It almost appears that the whole world wants you to take the chance, and then they just want to come back and ask you so they can reap the benefits of the chance that you took. So the only thing I'm left with at that point is I told you so, and I find no pleasure in that. And you'd have to understand how it started, It started in 2015, really. That's when my mother passed away. And that's when everybody around me was doing gangster moves, that I wasn't even aware of. In fact, I didn't even give a fuck. I was under grief. But they did. Oh, they went at it wholeheartedly. Now, if you really want to hear the whole story of that, you got to get the book up here, but Crook Without a Crime, I'm not finna get into that. Okay? But once you look at the book, and I never made this analogy in the book, however it came about, because look, if you were reading the book, it's cold, it was people that were supposed to have been closer to me than anything else were told, you feel me, that I'm a bum, don't give him shit, don't talk to him. I even tried to leave my auntie a cab, right? Because I knew she didn't have a car. But somehow, some way, somebody must have said some stupid shit to her and said, you don't want to keep that cab because he'll come back and be wanting to stay. Some stupid shit like that. So I had my daughter go pick up the cab, see? But I told you so shits. Man, dude. When I first got into it, and this was in 2018, I think, 2017 or 18, at the back end of 2017, going to 2018. At that time, Bitcoin was, what, $3,500, $3,500 for a Bitcoin. You hear me? For one Bitcoin. It's a beautiful time. But then I was trying to tell other people, did nobody take my advice? You understand? But at one time you took the advice of somebody else that was telling you I was going to be a bum. You understand that? So all that you have to read in the book, you guys. All right? I'm serious. Because it's a beautiful read, and you wouldn't realize how calculating and cold somebody can be when it comes to money. And then this is when you find out that they'll never be rich, ever, because they don't know how to be. So what happened with me is, after a while, like 2015, I was ostracized, to tell you the truth. And I had to come to Thailand, right? You know, right after my mom passed, to get away from what I would call, you'll see what I call them in the book. But I realized I didn't want to never actually go back to this motherfucking place because of the way these people act. And I also knew that I had game. You guys remember when the old hustlers used to talk to us, tell us they used to have regular old sayings like, stay true to the game and the game stay true to you, or you can't change a hoe into a housewife. You know, they had many of these different sayings, right? And somehow, some way, they hold to be true. So I applied what I knew from in America, and come to find out, even though I had obstacles, I had to learn how to speak Thai. And if any of y'all know, speaking Thai is a very difficult language to learn, especially at my age. And I think I was 52. And I had to learn how to speak Thai. I had to learn how to read, count in that particular language in order for me to even invest or succeed. You know, so that was one part of the hurdle, one part of the struggle. And then the second part was being alone. Knowing that everybody counted you out. See, if you notice, guys, I have only had this Facebook channel for less than 30 days. Everybody thought, because I stayed out of action for 10 years, everybody thought that I was either dead, in jail, or destitute. And it was quite the opposite. You know? When people refuse to take your advice because they're listening to someone else over you, well, then they have to live with their decision. You understand? And it's very unfair for me to have to deny someone that you told what to do in the gate. Yeah, I told you so. I don't like using that word. So I stopped giving out advice. Well, look, this is when I stopped, all right? I did make a video about it. I stopped giving out cryptocurrency and financial advice after Bitcoin went past $60,000. And it's no need for me to talk to you now. You know what I'm saying? If you had heard me when the motherfucker was $4,000 at least, and now it's 60, we the best of partners. We going in on different kind of adventures, condos, all this old shit because you paid attention to me. But the ones that didn't, them your haters now. See, they hating on you. You know, they expect you to give up the shit that you had to suffer through while they had the world. In 2015, most of the people I'm talking about had the fucking world. And I had to suffer along. Telling everybody I'm going to be able. Y'all got to read the book, man. It's called Crooked Out of Crime, all right? You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on all your bookstores, all right? But that's about it. I'm just, telling about that word. I told you so. Depending on where that word come from, you can either be a hater and get gratification and satisfaction from the fact that you told somebody to do something, they didn't do it, and then it didn't work out, and you told them not to. Now, that's a hater. That's a hater mentality. Meaning this, your failure is my happiness. So only thing I get out of the whole deal is I'm able to tell you, I told you so. Nigga, I ain't got that hater mindset. You feel me? I don't. Because sometimes, you know what that makes you feel like? You ever been in you ever see them scary motherfucking movies, excuse my language, and the kids are trying to tell the parents that the ghost is coming and the parents ain't believing them until it's too late. You understand? It's almost like that. You know? Well, that's my rant. Hey, you guys, y'all have a nice one. Out.